Hi everybody, Lydia here with Build Show, and today we're going to talk about when things dead end into other objects with corners. This is all going to be going white oak. There's actually quite a few walls in this job that are going to be going white oak. But something that happens, especially on a corner like this, is you have your raw drywall edge and then the wood's going to come here. So I'm assuming, I don't know all the detail stuff about this yet, but I'll kind of walk you through how I would preferably finish it. So you're gonna have your wood. I don't know if they're gonna do a cap on this. I have no idea what the plan is, but if they're just planning on taking this and deading it into the corner right here, what I'm gonna wanna do is I'm gonna wanna put a piece of corner bead on this corner. Doesn't matter if it's tape on, vinyl, metal, whatever. Preferably I'd probably do metal on this corner because it is going into wood. But what we'll do is we'll go ahead and put our corner bead piece on here. We will finish our drywall edge up to that bead piece, and then that way they have a place to take their trim and then dead into our corner, because there's going to be a little bit of that nose there from the corner bead. Another option is they can finish all the way up, and then we can come and we can put some flat tearaway up against the wood. So it would kind of end there, and then we just float this corner out. Another option is they do wood and then put a cap on it. I'm sure there's a lot of other options out there. But typically with this stuff, we're gonna be doing corner bead. We're gonna be finishing our side nice and tight and clean, and then that way it gives them a corner to come up to and dead their trim into. Really common too to do this with showers, bathrooms, anything with tile. We'll just go ahead and bead it, and then the tile guys can come up to it if that's what we're doing in that option too. So you can also use J-bead too. Those kind of just cap the drywall, so you can put that on and then put your drywall on, and those will give you a finished drywall edge too. We'll get this trim detail dialed in, kind of what we want to do with this, and then probably give them a nice corner to finish up into, unless they're taking it around the corner. Oh yeah, one thing I have asked, and sometimes we don't always do this, is I will talk to the trim guys, cabinet guys, finish carpenter, whatever, and I will ask them before we do this. I'll be like, what do you want me to do here? Is this gonna help you or hinder you? Or like, how do you want me to proceed? And interestingly enough, the majority of times they're like, we don't want anything on here. So definitely communicate about that. So if I ask them and they're like, nope, we won't put anything on there, we'll come back and touch up later if we have to, but sometimes it hurts more than it helps. So make sure you're asking and communicating about details like this, like, what does everybody want? So as I can assume that's gonna make it easier, but maybe not. Maybe it's gonna screw them up and they're gonna rip it off and be pissed off I put it on there. Definitely communicate about what's gonna be the best. Super excited to see how this house is gonna turn out. And then we also have the detail up on the ceiling too. Being that the drywall is hung tight enough and the wood will be thick enough to cover that gap, all we'll do is make sure our screws are spotted and everything is done up at that ceiling joint too, where it's coming into the trim, to make sure it's close enough, but we don't need to go like that far with it, because there will be wood on there too. So keep that in mind when you're kind of working with a bunch of accent walls, wood walls. And it's always better to get it in after we're done instead of when we're in, because if we are dropping compound on unsealed woods, it can actually damage the wood and pull stuff off, and then it won't be able to stain too. So keep that in mind if you are doing a lot of natural wood accents or things like that in your home. Preferably, if you can wait, I know you can't always wait, but if you can, leave it till the last minute to do it so we don't get, you know, drywall compound on it and dust and all that stuff. So anyway, that's it for me this week. You can check me out as always on all the socials under Drywall Shorty, and I will catch you next week with a brand new video on The Build Show.